She said no. She curved you. She ghosted you. She told her friends you weren't her type. Maybe she was completely cold, acted like you didn't exist. And you moved on. You did the work. You stopped chasing. You leveled up. And then, out of nowhere, she's back. A DM. A like on a post from 6 months ago. A hey stranger, at 11 p.m. I've been thinking about you lately. And now you're standing there, phone in hand, wondering, what just changed? What does she actually want? And should I even open that door? Here's what nobody is telling you. Her coming back has almost nothing to do with what you did wrong the first time, and everything to do with what's happening inside of her psychology right now. Welcome to Hidden Side of Her. And today, we are going all the way in. Let me be clear about something before we go any further. This video is not about manipulation. It's not about revenge. And it's not about teaching you how to get a woman back who doesn't want you. This video is about understanding. And understanding is power. Because here's the uncomfortable truth, most men, when a woman comes back after rejecting them, either do one of two things. They immediately fall back into the same dynamic that led to the rejection, chasing, overinvesting, losing all the value they built. Or they shut the door entirely out of bitterness or confusion, without ever understanding what actually happened. Both of those responses come from the same root problem. You don't know what's really going on inside her head. And that's exactly what we're going to fix today. Over the next 30 minutes, we're breaking down the core psychological mechanisms, backed by behavioral science, attachment theory, and real relationship dynamics, that explain why women return after rejection. Not sometimes. Not rarely. With a pattern so consistent it becomes almost predictable once you understand it. Male perspective. Most men don't think about any of this when a woman comes back. They just think about the surface question, is she interested now? But that's like asking, is the fire lit, without asking, what fuel is it burning on? Female psychology analysis. The woman coming back to you after a rejection is most commonly exhibiting one of these psychological patterns. Anxious attachment resurfacing. She rejected you during a period of emotional avoidance or fear of vulnerability. Possibly right after a past hurt. Now, loneliness or anxiety has peaked, and she's reaching for familiarity. This doesn't necessarily mean she's ready for what you want. She may be reaching for comfort, not commitment. Avoidant rebound cycle. This is one of the most documented patterns in relationship psychology. An avoidant woman rejects or ends connection when intimacy feels threatening. But once you're gone, once the perceived threat of closeness is removed, she starts to miss the positive aspects of the connection. She reaches back out. But if you re-engage and push for depth too quickly, her avoidance system activates again, and she pulls back. This is the classic push-pull cycle that drives men absolutely insane. Fearful avoidant re-engagement. She genuinely wants connection but is terrified of it. Your absence, your non-neediness, has temporarily lowered her fear response. So she's reaching out from a place of tentative curiosity. How you respond in the first 48 to 72 hours will significantly shape which direction her nervous system takes this. Secure reevaluation. She was simply not in the right headspace before. She's worked through something, grown, and is approaching with genuine readiness. This is the healthiest version, and the one worth investing in. Before you respond to that text, ask yourself, what attachment style am I dealing with here? Watch for patterns, not just moments. The anxious woman who texts at midnight and loves you by morning and ghosts by Tuesday, that's a pattern. A woman who reaches out, is consistent, and builds gradually, that's a different pattern. Same behavior on the surface. Completely different psychological origin. Your job is not to fix her attachment style. Your job is to understand it, so you can make a clear-eyed decision about whether this serves you. The social status shift, when the world changes how she sees you. Here's something most people in this space won't say out loud. But this channel is called Hidden Side of Her for a reason. So we're saying it. Women's attraction is, in part, socially calibrated. This is not an insult. It is evolutionary biology, behavioral science, and sociological research all pointing in the same direction. Attraction, particularly long-term mate selection criteria, in women is significantly influenced by social proof, status signals, and perceived desirability by others. This is not shallow. This is deeply human. And when you understand it, it stops being painful and starts being useful. Male perspective. When a man finds a woman attractive, it's often relatively immediate and context-independent. He sees her, he's attracted, and that attraction is relatively stable regardless of whether other men want her, though social proof does amplify it somewhat. Female psychology analysis. For many women, particularly those with higher sociometer sensitivity, a psychological term for how attuned someone is to their social standing and the perceived quality of their social choices, attraction evolves as social information evolves. Translation: she may not have found you particularly compelling when you were just that guy who liked her. But now you're that guy who multiple people speak highly of, that guy who is visibly thriving, that guy who other women are interested in, or that guy who didn't need her validation to keep winning. That shift in social information changes her internal assessment. Not because she's calculating, most of the time this happens below conscious awareness. It's an automatic reassessment driven by the social animal parts of her brain. The specific signals that most commonly trigger reevaluation: visible progress, career advancement, fitness transformation, new skills, confidence in social settings. Peer endorsement, hearing through mutual social networks that you're well respected, liked, interesting. Female attention signals, seeing or sensing that other women find you attractive. This is not about jealousy games. It's the social proof mechanism at work. Emotional composure after rejection, not seeing you fall apart confirmed that you have internal stability. That is genuinely attractive and rare. Real-world example. A man gets rejected by a woman in his social circle. He stays. He doesn't make it awkward. He continues to show up calm, warm, not sulking, not distant. He keeps growing. A few months later, a mutual friend mentions how well he's doing. She sees a photo of him at an event looking genuinely happy. Another woman in the group laughs loudly at something he said. And suddenly, her brain starts updating the file. None of that was a strategy. It was just a man living his life with dignity after a rejection. The most powerful thing you can do after a rejection is refuse to collapse. Don't perform happiness, build it. Don't chase visible growth, pursue real growth. The social world will notice. And what the social world notices, she will eventually notice too. What she's really saying when she comes back. Now we get to the part that requires the most precision. Because not every woman who comes back is coming back for the same reason. And responding the same way to every reapproach is one of the most expensive mistakes a man can make. Let's decode the most common reapproach signals and what they actually communicate. Signal 1, I've been thinking about you lately. Surface message, you crossed my mind. Psychological subtext. I've been comparing you to my current options and you're winning the comparison. But I'm testing to see if you're still available before I commit to anything emotionally. What to watch for: is this followed by actual effort, asking to meet, being consistent, showing up? Or is it followed by inconsistency and mixed signals? The opening message tells you she's thinking. The next 2 weeks tell you whether she's ready. Signal 2, the late night text, the random like, the hey stranger. Surface message, casual. Low stakes. Psychological subtext, high stakes, low courage. She wants to reconnect but needs plausible deniability in case you don't respond warmly. The timing, late night, impulsive, often means emotional state is driving this, not rational decision. What to watch for: emotional state-driven reach-outs can be genuine. they can also be temporary. She might be lonely, anxious, freshly out of something, or comparing again. These are the ones that most often go cold after a week. Signal 3, direct communication. I think I made a mistake. Can we talk? Surface message, clear. Psychological subtext. This woman has done some internal processing. This level of directness and vulnerability is not easy for anyone. She's coming with intention. What to watch for? This is the version most worth engaging with seriously. She's moving against the social grain, which for a woman involves real vulnerability. To say something honest. That deserves a real conversation. Signal 4, showing up in your orbit, commenting on posts, appearing at the same events, asking mutual friends about you. Surface message, coincidence. Psychological subtext. She's not ready to be direct, but she's positioning. She wants to see if you'll reinitiate. This is the approach of an avoidant or an anxious woman who is deeply afraid of explicit rejection. What to watch for? If she keeps hovering but never commits to direct contact, understand that the ball is now in your court. And you'll need to decide whether you want to pick it up or let her orbit indefinitely. Read the pattern across 2 to 3 weeks minimum before making a decision. A single message means she's curious. Consistent follow-through means she's ready. Your job is not to rush to judgment in either direction. How to respond? The psychology of calibrated re-engagement. This is where most of the advice you've heard gets it wrong. And I want to be very precise here. You've heard, make her chase you. Play it cool. Don't respond for 3 days. Act like you don't care. All of those are performance. And performed indifference is detectable, unattractive, and ultimately a version of the same anxious behavior you're trying to avoid, just with a mask on. What actually works, psychologically and relationally, is calibrated re-engagement. And here's what that looks like. Principle 1, respond warmly but without urgency. Your response should communicate, I'm glad to hear from you. I have a full life. I'm open to talking. It should not communicate, oh thank God you're back, or absolutely not, you missed your chance. Both extremes hand over your power. Example response to hey stranger, hope you're good. Anxious, OMG hey. I've been wondering about you. How have you been? We should definitely catch up. Bitter, ignoring it or responding with one-word answers designed to punish her. Calibrated, hey. Yeah, things have been good, been pretty heads down lately. What's going on with you? Warm. Present. Minimal urgency. No performance. Principle 2, let her invest before you invest. In the early stages of re-engagement, your job is to receive, not to pursue. Ask questions. Be genuinely curious. But notice how much work she's doing. Is she driving the conversation? Is she suggesting plans? Is she demonstrating that she wants this? The dynamic that collapsed before was almost certainly one where you were doing most of the pursuing. Recalibrate. Let her show you how serious this is. Principle 3, have an honest conversation before emotional reinvestment. This is the one most men skip because they're afraid of ruining the moment. Don't skip it. Before you are emotionally all in again, at some natural point, not an interrogation, but an honest moment, you need to say something like, I'm glad we're talking again. I want to understand what's different for you this time. Not to challenge you, just because I care about where this is actually going. That conversation might feel scary, but it is the most psychologically sound move you can make. It communicates self-respect. It communicates emotional intelligence. And it gives her the space to be honest, or to reveal that she isn't ready to be. Principle 4, be willing to walk away again. This is the one that matters most. If, after all of this, she falls back into the same patterns, the mixed signals, the inconsistency, the emotional hot and cold, you have to be willing to close the door. Not out of bitterness. Out of self-knowledge. Because the most dangerous version of this story is the man who keeps letting the same woman come back repeatedly, each time hoping it will be different, each time reinvesting from a place of hope rather than evidence. She coming back is information. What she does with the second chance is the real data. Let me bring all of this together. Over the last 26 minutes, here's what we've established. 1. Her original rejection was a time-stamped snapshot of her internal state, not a permanent verdict on your value. The context in which she met you matters enormously. 2. Your genuine absence, not performed, but real, activates the scarcity principle, rosy retrospection, and loss aversion in her psychology in ways that your constant presence never could. 3. The attachment pattern she carries is the invisible operating system behind her reapproach. Understanding whether you're dealing with anxious, avoidant, fearful avoidant, or secure patterns tells you more about what her return means than anything she says. 4. Social recalibration is real. As you grow in character, status, confidence, and social standing, her internal assessment updates. This is not manipulation. It is the honest result of becoming more yourself. 5. Not all reapproaches are equal. The signal she sends, and what follows that signal over the next 2 to 3 weeks, tells you everything you need to know about her actual readiness. 6. Your response to her return is the most important psychological move in this dynamic. Calibrated warmth, without urgency, without bitterness, without performance, is the most powerful position you can operate from. The real insight that ties all of this together. The version of you that she rejected was not necessarily a lesser version. It may have simply been a version she wasn't ready for yet, or one that hadn't fully met its own potential. The man who handles rejection with grace, continues to grow, and re-engages with genuine self-respect when the time comes. That man is operating from a completely different psychological baseline than the man who either chased desperately or collapsed in bitterness. That baseline, that internal solidity, is the most attractive thing a man can cultivate. Not because it's a strategy. Because it is genuinely who you become when you stop making your worth contingent on her answer. Before you go, I want to leave you with one question. And I want you to actually sit with it. If the woman who rejected you walked back into your life tomorrow, not with mixed signals, but with genuine, clear, consistent interest, are you in a place right now where you would be choosing her from a position of wholeness? Or choosing her from a place of finally being chosen? That question will tell you more about where you are psychologically than any advice I can give you. And the work. Real work is making sure that if and when that door opens, you're walking through it as the most grounded, self-aware, genuinely confident version of yourself. Not the version that needs her to confirm your worth. The version that already knows it. Now, I want to hear from you in the comments right now. Have you ever had a woman come back after rejecting you? What happened? And looking back, do you think you handled it the right way? Drop your story below. This community learns from real experiences, and yours matters. If this video gave you something real, not just content, but actual clarity, hit that like button. It helps more than you know. Subscribe to Hidden Side of Her if you want to understand women at the level most men never get to. Not to play games, but to see clearly. And next week, we are going deep on something that ties directly into today's topic. You don't want to miss that one. I'll see you then.